What's up everybody, Andy here again and welcome to Kit Guru. So if you're a streamer then you've probably heard of the name Elgato, and if not, then how? Anyway, today we're checking out something that can entirely change your streaming quality from meh to epic. And what is it, you ask? It's a light. What do you mean a light? That's hardly going to improve anything. Well, you're wrong, and you better stick around to find out why. Today we're checking out the Elgato Key Light Air, and it has a recommended retail price of £130, but you can find it for around £120 at the time of recording here in the UK. Okay, so we know it's a light, but what is it and why do I need it? Well, essentially, cameras are only as good as their light source, and this is especially true when it comes to video, which is why anyone creating videos, whether they're live streaming or television broadcasting, have multiple light sources to ensure they're capturing as much detail and information as possible without breaking the image. So less light forces the camera to compensate with digital fake light, also known as ISO, which in excess causes a grainy image. Larger cameras with full frame sensors, for example, can let in a lot more information and light because of the sensor size, essentially. However, webcams are the exact opposite. Often having absolutely tiny sensors, they struggle to produce decent quality images, and the major cause of this is lack of light. Since most streamers use webcams, you'll need a consistent and adequate light source to get the best from them. Originally, this was an issue as normal lights are harsh and they do create shadows across your face, and consistent video lights are usually very large, with big softboxes to diffuse that harsh light, and they do not fit behind desks easily. And this is where Elgato saw a gap in the market and jumped straight in with the original Key Light a little while back. These lights are absolutely great, but they are expensive, and as such, they have made a smaller brother to the Key Light, which is the Key Light Air. The Key Light Air is an ultra-compact edge-lit LED panel with built-in diffusion for ultra-soft illumination. This makes the light very evenly lit across your face or your subject, and it also makes it easier on the eyes too. Imagine a harsh sunny day compared to a bright overcast day. The clouds soften the light. Being an LED panel also reduces the size dramatically, and they also run a lot cooler, which means they're perfect to sit on your desk or behind your monitor. Couldn't I just buy some cheap LED panels instead? And well, yes, you could. And that's exactly what I did before the original Key Light was released. And I do still use them to this day, but there are some negatives to doing this. Cheaper LED panels are not as diffused, if they have any diffusion at all, causing harsh light and major strain on the eyes. The biggest selling point here, and the trick up the Elgato Key Light Air's sleeve, is the fact that it has built-in Wi-Fi. So stick around to see what that means. And what do you get in the box? Well, you get the Key Light Air, you get the base of the stand, you get the 3D swivel mount, a telescopic pole, and the power supply. Setting it up was an absolute breeze. Screw the pole into the base with the included screw, screw the 1/4" ball mount onto the back of the Key Light. Now is the slightly fiddly bit. Unscrew the clamp entirely into 2 halves, place the ball mount into the middle and screw it together over the top of the telescopic pole. Plug the power in, and then you can train the cable through the cable management system found on the back of that pole. I found this whole process actually really easy, and I love the fact that there's no need for any tools like a screwdriver. The base is heavy and is sturdy enough not to move around on your desk or any way you use it. The telescopic pole is easy to adjust and does go fairly high too, whilst remaining stable, but once extended with that cable managed in the back, once lowered, the cable will be all over the place. I'd have preferred to have seen the cable hidden inside the pole, but the way it is at the minute actually makes it easier to remove the cable without too much hassle, so it's kind of a win lose situation there. The 3D swivel mount on the top, however, really bugged me, as all it does is move the tilt up and down. There's no side to side at all, and yes, you can move the base if you really want to, but I'd much preferred to see a traditional ball head here so that you could position it any way you'd like. The other thing is the materials inside the mount, the 3D mount, rub together and cause the finish to come away very easily. Not a big issue, but worth pointing out. As soon as I put it together, all the paint sort of started rubbing away in my hands. Now, the saving grace here, and what I absolutely love to see, is the 1/4" mount found on the back of the Key Light Air. I'm so glad that they kept this traditional size mount, as it opens up the doors completely. I personally already have a lot on my desk and do not want even more clutter, so a stand is my last resort. Luckily, with the inclusion of this mount, I can use a magic friction arm with a super clamp on the end to attach the Key Light Air to anything I'd like, which also has a ball head attached at the top, so I can position it any way I'd like. I use these clamps for everything. I've got my DSLR for streaming and my other LED panels dotted around the room on these too. They are really good and you can find them really cheap online. You can pay a fortune for them, but you can get basic ones for around £10. Now, Elgato do make a multi-mount for the Key Light range, but this is essentially another adjustable desk mount, but it's worth mentioning even though I haven't tested one out or have one at all, so you can go check that out if you're interested. The light itself is lightweight and has a plastic design. The back is raised with cooling vents cut out to help disperse any heat caused by continuous use. Now, I love the design that's etched into the plastic on the back too. It's just a shame that you won't really ever see this unless you're constantly moving the light around for different projects. Towards the base is an on and off switch, and near the top we have a reset button as well as the port for the power supply. The Key Light Air has an adjustable brightness of up to 1400 lumens and an adjustable color range between 2900 Kelvin and 7000 Kelvin. So whether you want a super warm yellow light, daylight or a blue light, you can dial that in. You can see right now the key light behind me on a much warmer tone. For all of the specs of the Key Light Air, check out our website at kitguru.net. Now hang on, there's no controls on the light, so how can I dial in my preference? Well, as I mentioned earlier, the Key Light Air is Wi-Fi enabled, and this is exactly what sets itself apart from cheaper alternatives. You can connect and control one or more of these lights right from your desktop, your Mac, your iPhone, your Android device, as well as an Elgato Stream Deck. All you need to do is download the software named Control Center, and you can download this for free from Elgato's website or via the App Store or Play Store. Turn your Key Light Air on and open the app and click Add New Device. It'll ask you to connect it to a Wi-Fi network, and then it just works. It was really easy. I was expecting something to go wrong because our Wi-Fi is really weak here, but it worked very well. The software is incredibly simple and I love that. You can turn the light on and off, turn all lights on and off if you have multiple, rename lights, adjust the color, Kelvin, and the brightness, and check for updates. Now, all of these features can be programmed into any Stream Deck via the Stream Deck software too. So if you've already got a Stream Deck, definitely do this. It's super easy to use and it works excellently, even despite the fact that our Wi-Fi sucks here. So I've been using my LED panels for a long time, and changing their settings is a massive pain. I have to get up, lean over, and without seeing the controls, fiddle around until I see a setting I like. They did come with a remote control, but it's awful and it hardly ever connects. However, having the controls for the Key Light Air at my fingertips, no matter where I am, via my phone, my PC, or my Stream Deck, it really made the quality of life so much easier. And for me, this feature is the decision maker, and until you've had this sort of ease of use, you won't know what you're missing. So that gets a huge thumbs up from me because it saves a lot of time. So here's some examples both with and without the key light. as you can see, this makes a world of difference, and lighting is absolutely necessary when stepping up your live stream to the next level. Now ideally you would have two of these lights, what's known as a key light and a fill light. The key being a brighter source and the fill being less bright. But I think you could get away with just one of these in a pinch, especially if you're not using a green screen. Now after all, these lights aren't cheap. If you are going to use a green screen though, I'd 100% recommend getting at least two of the original key lights, not the Air, as the Air is only 1400 lumens bright and the original is 2800, which is double the brightness. And the trick with green screens is to ensure that they're evenly lit with very bright light with no casting of shadows onto them whatsoever, otherwise you won't key out the background properly. Now the Key Light Air would certainly struggle here, and even Elgato recommend against it on their website, favouring the original key light for this use. But overall, I'm actually really impressed with the features and functions of the Key Light Air. I think it's well designed, it's a perfect size, and it comes with everything you'd need to step up your game. Having support on all operating systems and via the Stream Deck means that everyone can control it with ease. I love the inclusion of the 1/4 inch thread, as it opens up so many doors and mounting possibilities. The swivel that doesn't swivel too much did annoy me, and it could have been such an easy fix with a ball head, as did the fact that the paint wore off instantly before I'd even really used it. But my biggest concern here is still the price. You can buy almost 3 standard LED panels with stands for the price of even just one of these, but then you are going to have the hassle of mounting them and manually adjusting them, and you know, it's going to be a bit of a pain. The original key light was almost £200 at launch, and I'd have loved to see a bundle of at least 2 Key Light Airs for the recommended retail price of £130. That being said, the Key Light Air is an excellent bit of kit, and despite my grumbles about the price, if you can afford these and want the ease of use, then I do recommend the Elgato Key Light Air. But let me know your thoughts down below of the Key Light Air and whether or not you're going to buy one. If you've liked this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, turn notifications on, check our merchandise out down below, check our website daily for tech news, and make sure you tune in again because I'll be back. So see you later guys, thank you for watching.